All right, y'all, we're back with some more Dragon Ball Gekishin Squadra, and today we're going to be breaking down everything that is coming with Vegito for Season 3 of Squadra, and then we're going to take a look here at the community's reaction to the new Divine Draws, because there's been a lot of talk about it, so it's kind of two topics in one. I'm not alone here today, actually. I'm joined by your boy Mike, and there's going to be a part 2 to this on his channel where he's going to look over. Fun enough, the video is populating right here, his comments and replies to that, because there's again a lot of discussion to have about that. But how you doing, Mike?
Hi, I'm doing good. Hi, it's your boy Mike. Hello, hello. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, and again, there is a decent amount of things that are coming to season 3, so again, we'll just kind of break them down as we see. Of course, we had the announcement that they won the best of 2025 and one of the best multiplayer game award for Japan, so that was definitely really interesting. And you know,
I think it was pretty neat. The one thing I'm really surprised though is that like there was no like reward or anything like that. Like you would think that at least like I don't know, like 2025 zenny or something in order to like
I thought they
celebrate
gave
that,
like a little
but
reward for it though.
I didn't think they
I'm
did. I
pretty
could
sure
be wrong,
they
but
did. Like some like capsules or some shit. Like they did provide that, but it was a while ago.
Gotcha.
It was in the
Maybe
news,
I just
so
don't remember.
I mean, we'll take a look at the Divine Draws after. Let's go ahead and take a look here at the new tournament system, which is going to be really interesting, or the Gekishin boss first, actually. So this is one of the things that are being added here. This Gekishin boss, he's going to step in for Android 16. Now, I think this is actually a really good potential change. I think it depends on what this Gekishin boss's buff might be, because I was going to make a video talking about this relatively soon, but it seems like they might be taking a step ahead for it. I feel like bosses in this game are very repetitive, and they're very, you know, even though they do like slightly different things from each other, especially like Nappa and Android 16, the health on the bosses too, though, they're very linear, and it gets to a point where you could just nuke them and just one-shot them, you know, depending on the setup you have. So I think bosses just were a big issue, leading to a lot of games becoming very monotonous, right? Where it's just very samey at the end of the day. You know, if you're going to win, you're playing for bosses and you're playing for towers. You're not really playing for team fights, which, you know, indirectly hurts a character like even Super Vegito or Broly, where at the end of the day, you really need a character like Super Saiyan Goku or Piccolo that'll secure these bosses to help you get the win. And that is like one of the most important things in this game. And the thing about 16 and like Nappa is that you could just see them and instantly just like one-shot them with Spirit Bomb, right? Which is like very boring. Or Special Beam Cannon, for example. But here, looks like Chun might be a little different, because instantly, you see, Goku didn't even hit Chun at all. Instantly, this guy is like moving around. He has the after images, as we see, you know, there is the real one. Any mistaken attack, you'll be staggered right there, and he keeps moving there. So you have to repeatedly hit Chun. And he will repeatedly move back and forth over and over. He switches even without you touching him. So it'll be really interesting to see if, you know, maybe he, like, let's say the Spirit Bomb hits Chun, then okay, he gets hit by it, he doesn't take the full brunt of the damage, and then he teleports around somewhere else, right?
Yeah, because a lot of the because you know how I like to do the feedback Monday, where I go over everyone's feedback that they put in the server. One of the comments that I kept seeing over and over again was talking about the fact that bosses felt, like how you said, a little bit too repetitive, where it was just like a thing where people would just go right into the boss and then just use every single ult imaginable, every single skill imaginable. And now this is finally giving us a new boss that you can't do that, because if you do, he's just going to teleport around and just dodge that attack. If you Spirit Bomb, you might not even be able to hit the Chun because of how fast he teleports. Like, look at that. I'm almost positive that like is a teleportation every 3-ish seconds or something. So that Spirit Bomb is not going down in time, right? Like, just not even hitting the opponent. Boom. Like Spirit I don't think Spirit Bomb is hitting. And if it is, it's gonna be a really close.
It's gonna take a while for Spirit Bomb to hit, and you have to like kind of predict where he's gonna be. And I think this is really good in the fact where, okay, maybe a character like Broly or Super Vegito, like Broly, does the AoE ultimate that's hitting everywhere. We have Super Vegito, which has the area covering ultimate as well. We have, I mean, Gamma's Core Breaker you won't have at this point of time, but again, it will also, I think, lead to a point where you will get into a team fight against the enemy team, I think, at a much more common rate than you would against Android 16. You know, I think that's where it really is a great change, and something that I think a lot of people aren't really talking about. I really do like the idea of the Gekishin boss. The only other thing that they have to change about it is Android 16 giving movement speed up. It's actually one of the most broken things that you can give in a MOBA. It's like movement speed up. So hopefully he gives some sort of different buff. We'll see. I mean,
yeah, they didn't say anything about it just yet.
I would say like vanishing step cooldown would be interesting, but that's where we can get into the divine draws potentially, where
not to get off topic, but I just noticed in the background, I don't know if you saw, there's the entire Dragon Ball manga collection as well as a Squadra thing. That's actually really cool.
That's actually really
to just
cool.
have as like a back piece.
I agree, yeah. And they even had this is the season 2 version, right?
I see Go Tanks, I think, and then Super Saiyan.
Or is it season 1? That's season 1.
Yeah.
Because God Top was right there.
Like addition just in the background.
Mm-hmm. And then they're adding a new mode where you could actually battle against CPUs and Gekishin rolls, which, you know, is nice in case you want to kind of practice with your allies and against CPUs, but not that that really matters necessarily. There's also going to be this tournament style events coming, which is definitely interesting. You could actually either queue into a solo rank kind of version of this or a team version of this, right? It'll be, again, interesting to see how this works out, but you get a badge, SC capsules, any. There's no reason not to participate in this. They don't really give too many details, but I mean, there's not really a reason.
What I wouldn't be surprised is there's two methods that I guess they could do. If you can go back to like the rewards section of it, I feel like there's probably two things that they could most likely do, where it's one, you can only participate in like one tournament like every single day at like certain hours of the day, using like either the team or the solo, and then you get like a certain amount of points based off of how far you went into that tournament, or like a certain amount of points if you win. And because it says at the top ranked players will receive prizes, it's probably only going to be like the top 10% or like the top 20% will get Zenny, the top 10% get capsules as well, and then like the top 5 or top 1% also get the commemorative badges, is what I would
I feel like the badge is going to be for anyone. I think it's going to be for anyone who enters. They'll probably give like some sort of badge,
right?
And then maybe there'll be special badges for those who have like, you know,
right,
the top rankings, right? Something else about tournaments I think we should also point out is that they did updates the kind of requirements for the like what you need for the rewards. So it's actually right here. We see for season 2 tournaments, you needed to have 17 teams or more to actually get the tournament support program skin. But a lot of these tournaments end up having, you know, I would say closer to like 8 to 12, maybe 16 teams. Yeah. Like having 17 teams or more is a lot of players for a specific time. So they actually updated it to be 8 teams or more right here, which I think is really good. Because not only do you get way more rewards, let's take a look here, you know, in 8 teams or more, no matter what, the winners will always get 20 S3 capsules, 10,000 Zenny, the badge, and then the exclusive skin, which is really cool. We take a look at it before, you know, 48 teams only gave 10, the Zenny and the stamp right here. So, like, also in season 2, 17 teams or more only had 20 P2 capsules, and now we're getting 30. So this is just like hugely incentivizing people to kind of make tournaments and do things. Even if you're like, if you're a runner up for an 8-team tournament, you get basically better prizes than you did if you were, you know, playing in an 8-team tournament and you got even the winner kind of thing. So
right,
this is cool. This Vegito diamonds, like, I'm not really necessarily a fan of them myself, but hey,
It's an extra skin for free.
it's an exclusive skin that you should go ahead and try to do. I think my only regret is that I actually had never went for the skins before in these ones because there's not really a lot of tournaments now. But I think next season I'll try to go for this. This could be really cool. Maybe I'll team up with someone. And again, the more wins you get, the different evolution the badge has too. So that's really cool. Oh, interesting. So winners of the tournament held with 9 teams or more. It's 4 teams or more for the badges too. So no matter what, you will get a badge for participating in the tournament, and if you win the tournament. So it's really awesome.
Another thing, as well too, on the bottom right, it says there are also participation rewards, and it doesn't say them. I wouldn't be surprised if those were also.
Oh, I see, the participation
as well.
I mean, yeah. So I guess this is the
even more ways for you
ranked.
to just.
You're right.
Yeah, even more ways for you to just be able to get rewards in this game for free. And I think a big issue with Gekishin Squadra is there are times where you will just go onto the game and you will have nothing to do, whether it be like at the end of the season right now and there's just nothing to do, or you are like in one of those dead periods right before a character drops, like basically any of those times, right? Now we actually have something that they could just have all the time, and you could be like, okay, well, at least let me just go ahead and do like a tournament that is going to be coming up, so that way I can go ahead and get some free Zenny, or I can get some free capsules or something like that, whatever the participation rewards are going to be,
Yeah,
I think it's a very nice thing.
Definitely agree. And beyond that, there is the new kind of sword delivery, which I don't see many people talking about this. I feel like I was talking with actually Very Geek, and he brought up a point where it's like, it's nice that they're doing these modes, but you don't really see a lot of people play like land grab or play like finders keepers like that. Like, so they're putting a lot of this time into the sub rules, but not necessarily investing as much time into the main Gekishin rules. Let me know what you guys are thinking about that. That could even be another separate topic at hand, but
imagine if
I do like this sword delivery. I think it looks really fun. And it seems very unique. I think the issue with these sub rules is that they don't really give you anything for doing them. Like you don't get like maybe Zenny or something kind of distinct. You don't. It's obviously, you have fun, and this seems like a fun game mode. But I think to incentivize people to actually play the mode that they're kind of experimenting with, there should be some sort of prizes, or maybe there should even be rankings for this mode where you get additional prizes, just like be happened for normal Gekishin ranked, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say something that another game that I like to play, Rocket League. What it does is would they have like the tournaments that you can do that's like every 2 hours, and what that also includes is modes like this as well, like the goofy modes that are just like definitely not main gameplay, it's just like the sub rules in a sense. So I feel like maybe an incentive that they could possibly do to make it where you want to play these more and practice this more is make it a part of that those daily tournaments that they are going to be holding, because if they add something like this where you could do these sub rules inside of that, it might make you be like, okay, well, in order to get ready to practice, let me just go ahead and hop into a casual one of land grab, so that way I can get ready for the tournament that's going to be happening in like an hour.
It doesn't even necessarily have to be like, a tournament, but just like actual prizes. From the rest of this, kind of is just the new characters. We already talked about that separately, but if you weren't aware, Vegito, Bardock, and Khalif, or I won't say Khalifa, but Kefla, Super Saiyan 2 Kefla, are the characters. We have this special Bardock outfit, which looks really cool. Badman Vegeta's finally getting his outfit from the beta, which is really crazy that we're only barely getting this. We see Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta's getting a special. I think this is an MVP, right? So a lot of these are looking really, really cool. This cooler skin looks interesting, like this Rage cooler skin. But
yeah,
a lot of these we're not really going to see for a bit, so just keep that in mind. And the final thing we want to talk about here is the Divine Draw. So to explain, there's going to be 3 new Divine Draws added to Gekishin rules. First one is Super Cooldown Reduction Vanishing Step. As you can obviously see, you get a really huge reduced cooldown time for Vanishing Step. I mean, it is actually I don't know. Honestly, I don't really. Well,
I'm
okay,
almost
let's break
positive
it
it's
down
3 seconds.
first. So you see when you vanish right here, it gives you. You still have about like you get like an eighth back, right? By the time the vanish is done. Let me really slow it down here. Look at the difference. Look at that. You get nearly 75% of the vanish back once you finish vanishing with the super cooldown reduction. The normal cooldown, this is like a 10th. So that's that's the change right there. And you can continue to vanish over and over like that. So that's gonna definitely be interesting. The second divine draw is Cloudy Cloak. This basically allows you to become invisible on the map. Now, obviously, your enemies are still able to see the clouds, but they're not able to see who is under the clouds. However, again, it does allow you to be invisible, when you're actually looking on the map. So this could potentially open, backdooring options or just some sort of level of strategy. Again, you also cannot attack though. So like, again, you could go to backdoor, but once you use a skill or a Gekishin burst, I assume that you will lose the cloud as well. So there'll also be just like a bunch of clouds around the map here. Not as much as the cloud divine draw, so it's going to be really interesting to see. Then the third one is mystery HP, which this is probably I've seen a lot of people talk about this specifically. You basically can't see the HP of heroes, bosses, and Supreme Kai. I think that the HP for bosses and Supreme Kai being hidden is really interesting. But for enemy heroes, I'm not sure if I'm necessarily a fan of that per se. Oh wait, I didn't even notice this. Okay, it's not too bad then.
Bosses?
Yeah, right here. Enemy heroes, bosses, and Supreme Kai. This is the thing I didn't even notice here. Once they take damage, their HP will be revealed and then become hidden again. So as long as you have a keen eye, you're actually able to see the HP there. I wonder if that also applies to bosses and Supreme Kai as well. That could be interesting. If it's only to enemy heroes, I would actually kind of like that. This doesn't really seem like it's going to be that big of a deal. You'll be able to see the HP of ally heroes, God of Destruction, and other NPCs as usual. So it's only like Supreme Kais and things like that. So this is something I need to test in game, but these are the divine draws, and they are actually replacing Skill Boost 2, Sparkly Stardust, and Spirited Away. So this is, again, the second point of the big issues I think a lot of people are having. Besides the divine draws themselves, I think people really don't like that they're just removing these, but let's take a look here at what people are saying about this. In my opinion, if I was going to give my own take, I think that these are overall fine, except for the super cooldown reduction vanishing step. I think that's kind of dumb, like the amount that the reduction is there, because it's like basically you could just escape so easily now, and it's like, I don't know, what's the point of even of getting into team fights at all? I think it de-incentivizes getting into team fights at all, when this game I think should be pushing that a little more, which is why I don't like this one. I think Cloudy Cloak and Mystery HP are interesting, but I don't think that I find them more interesting than skill damage to boost. However, Spirited Away and Sparkly Stardust, I would say probably weren't needed. Sparkly Stardust, I think, just adds to an issue of, I think, towers being, I don't know, backdooring in towers. Spirited Away also adds to that. So this takes away backdooring, and this kind of incentivize backdooring, but at the same time, you're able to see them on the map when they're actually attacking the God of Destruction, right? So what do you think about these? Just before we look at some of these comments, Mike.
Yeah, I think super cooldown reduction is probably one of the worst designed divine draws ever, because more than ever before, with skill damage boost 2, there was some units that just directly did not get boosted, and you got hurt by that. Something like Fat Boo, for example, who doesn't benefit from that. It didn't make him unusable when that was put, but you were at a direct disadvantage because it doesn't boost the amount of healing that you do, right? with super cooldown reduction, it genuinely makes some characters unplayable.
They said,
Deborah,
I hate you, Deborah.
yeah, if you like Deborah, I'm sorry, dude. You're lying in the mud. You got the future Gohan treatment.
I mean,
bro.
you
Like,
already were lying in the.
nothing.
If you're a Deborah fan in this game, you already were in the mud. Even after the buff in season 2, it just didn't really help this guy like in his kit at the end of the day, especially with Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta existing. But now it's like
I'm starting to think that they might
Deborah.
actually just have to change that because
they just need to rework his
petrification.
Kit. Petrification is just not going to work unless it's overpowered. Again, he's either going to be super overpowered or he's going to be underpowered, and that's just how this petrification gauge is going to work in this game. Because the actual petrification is really good, but it's like if it's too easy to get it off, then he's OP as hell. And if it's too hard to get it off, then he, like the whole part of his kit, he's balanced around this gauge. So everything else is underpowered because he has the petrification, right? This it's very funny.
Yeah. And another character that I feel like a lot of people also didn't mention, Gotenks. His skill 1 is useless now. Like, anyone can just dodge out of the way.
I'm sure a lot of you guys know Annie, but poor Annie. Let me see. I could find. Annie DM me and was like, they hate Gotenks, bro. Yeah, like literally this. Another goat. This is like an indirect Gotenks nerf. Not only did they released him as a balanced character. I don't care what you guys are saying. A lot of people love to say that Gotenks is overpowered in season 1. He really was not. You just did not know how to play against him. Then they nerfed the hell out of him. They shadow nerfed him so that his skill 1 has terrible tracking. Then on top of that, they gave this. Even Ziad is like saying, that it doesn't sound healthy for the game. I don't know. This is the one I have a big issue with.
Yeah.
What do you think about the other two?
Like it's just a very stupid divine draw. Cloudy Cloak is fine. It's just, again, sadly, just another buff for hit. I feel like I don't know.
I mean, is it really?
If it's gonna help her?
I feel like
we'll have to see, because it all depends on if you are seen when you use your It all depends if you're able to be seen while using your invisibility, like that. Like if it shadow destroys him. The super cooldown reduction also is stupid for that, because like you just.
I think that one buffs hit more than anything. But like,
yeah,
I would say the Clouded Cloak just makes everyone else hit. Right? I
guess, yeah.
I'm like, in a sense. But the thing is that, like, for a hit, you would rather use his invisibility than the cloak anyways. Like, what benefit do you get of using the cloak rather than his invisibility? Like, I think, maybe like a little early on in the game, but his invisibility lasts for so long that you don't even need that necessarily, right? And the cloak makes you just more obvious than your invisibility, so.
And then the mystery HP, I feel like we'll have to obviously see how it works for bosses and Kais. If you attacking it will show what their health bar is, but I think it's more of a silly one than anything, and you having to think a little bit more than usual, because instead of just being able to see the enemy's health bar, you have to make like a mental note of how much health they had when you're chasing them down, rather than just you being like, okay, well, everyone can see that the enemy's like Kid Gohan is at 20% HP, so I'm just gonna have to hope that everyone goes for him. Now you have to be like, hey, by the way, guys, this guy's at like 20% HP. We should go dive him, even though we can't see his HP anymore, right? But for Kais and all that stuff, I feel like the only time that you, like, I don't know, the only time that you won't really need to see it is when, like, you're first attacking it, and at that point it's just most likely gonna show the HP bar anyways, So
yeah,
like, I don't know. It's something we have to kind of see how it's gonna work like in game before I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, Mr. HP fucking sucks.
I agree, but it feels like the fact that you're able to, like, I don't mind against enemy heroes, but if it's like against bosses that you can just like touch them and see the HP bar, then what's the point of it being hidden in the first place? Like,
yeah, I would like it to be hidden, because it would make more, like, I don't know, it would make more for trying to be a little bit more strategic, I guess.
Yeah,
but I don't know. At the same time, people might just go in and just be like, all right, we're using all ults.
Yeah, who knows? And it'd be more like flipping the boss closer to that than anything. But
Right.
let's refresh here. Let's see any quotes. Mr. HP in a MOBA is a terrible idea, Bikino says. I mean, I think that I don't necessarily mind it, but I also would have like I see why people wouldn't like it. I think that it's fine with you being able to, you know, kind of again attack the enemy and see what their HP is so that it's not like completely hidden like the entire time. But yeah. We have Gresh here. So the divine draw system is the #1 problem in the game. It's their attempt at curbing monotony, but just feels like they try to be different for the sake of being different instead of just implementing items like what is commonplace in the MOBA genre. The reason you think something like items just feels better is because it puts control in the hands of the player in terms of how they want the progression and play style of the character to evolve over the course of the match. Yeah, I think this is very fair because it's something that like, oh, you play around these rather than, oh, you decide how you want to play, if that makes sense, which is where like items are just like more interesting in that regard because I mean, there's in other MOBAs, I assume that there's like just like tons of different like customization options when it comes to items like that. And
On top of that too,
Mhm.
one of the like most useless mechanics in the game right now is going back. Like most of the time, you're just gonna go under tower to heal up, and there's no incentive for you to be recalling unless you're like on the enemy team or the enemy team's like side, and you're like, I need to hide in the clouds and hope that I can get out in time, right? So to have items, I feel like it would give you more of a reason to go back and be like, okay, let me just go, you know, to spawn so that way I can be able to buy whatever item I need next.
Yeah. Isn't this an issue with the new divine draws? You think that quite literally every single draw makes the game worse because the system doesn't have a reasonable basis to exist in a game like this? Yeah, I think it would be more interesting to have items in this game personally. The divine draw system being the #1 problem in the game. Would you agree with that though?
I guess
I could see it. Like,
it
I
depends on
guess,
what
depending on what you're
you
looking for.
classify as like, yeah, like if you're saying gameplay wise, I can possibly agree, just because again, like how Garesh said, it is just a very strong component in the game. But like, I don't know, I still think that as of right now, balancing is kind of just like my main like issue with the game as of because like again when we're watching a lot of these higher ranked games, it's always the same thing over and over again, and I feel like it doesn't need to be like that, you know, of just the same exact characters over and over again.
You see, I think the biggest issue with me with the divine draws is that they keep removing them and not keeping them. Like, Cell Junior is obviously should be removed, but I don't think that there is necessarily a need to remove these three. I guess, like, again, I don't like these two being gone. I think helps eliminate backdooring, but like, why do they need to remove super damage boost 2 or skill boost 1 up? Like, I don't think that was needed. Or meat buns, like they didn't need to remove these to add new ones. I think that
Right.
they could keep them in, and maybe again, it's their way of trying to keep things fresh and different, and only have a certain amount per season. But I
You
don't
know
know.
what would actually be really cool? What if they turned the divine draws into items that you could buy? Like for let's say damage boost 2, right? What if you can only buy like 2 items like max, and then you're like, okay, well, I'm going to get like super damage boost 2 and then I'll have mystery HP, or I'm going to get sparkly stardust because I'm a person who likes backdooring a lot, and then I'll have it where I have cloudy cloak, so if I go into a cloud on my side, I could also just be able to hide or something like that, you know? I feel like maybe that system in the future could be looked into.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, even like if you get superstar, if you're in the middle of a match, then it's like, okay, I get this, you know, kind of superstar item, and I can max out one of my skills that are not maxed out or something. I don't know. They would
Yeah.
have to like adjust something like that, but that could be interesting. Making those into items, I think I like that as like an idea, just to give the customization more in the player's hands than and by the system, and that way they probably don't have to just remove these. um Obviously some of these like Spirited Away, I'm not sure necessarily how that would work. Maybe you could create your own like bush and stay like not visible, but I don't know.
They could even lock like certain of these divine draws to certain characters, as in like somebody like I don't know, like only supports are able to get Spirited Away, or only tanks are able to get Spirited Away, and then have it where it's just kind of like that.
You see, the thing with you is that I know you've played more MOBAs than I have. Like I mean, this is pretty much the only MOBA I've played, honestly. So I would say, like, again, more customization in a player hand, though, just like in general, sounds like a really good idea to me. Two of these sound like unfun 100%, and Mystery HP sounds funny. I think Cloudy Cloak is like kind of silly. I don't think it's like Cloudy Cloak is going to be that bad. I think this is going to be the main issue. Super cooldown. That one actually sounds like fun to me.
I haven't even brought it up yet, but yeah, once you get like what is it called, the limit breaking jump on that, it's because it doesn't have a condition. You could just literally vanish every 1.5 seconds.
Yeah,
it's very stupid.
They're kind of mid looking. Also losing super skills lame. I mean, they look like I think these two look fine. I want to say mid, but yes, losing super skill I agree is lame. 2 hit buffs and Mr. HP looks fun, but if you're fear, it'll make people play even more cowardly than they already do. Yeah, because again, the best way to play is to play safe, where you just go for, well, not necessarily safe, but like you prioritize farm, you prioritize bosses, and you prioritize towers. Don't prioritize getting into team fights with no incentive. Like, there's no reason to team fight in most scenarios, honestly. If you get bosses and go for towers, you win the game. Like, you don't get anything from team fighting for the most part. So that's kind of it. In fact, like, most team fights are usually you get a pick off, then you bully the other team. I feel like is how a lot of those kind of interactions go. I'm sure you get what I mean about that, right, Mike? Like,
yeah, I get what you mean.
You don't force a fight right before boss because you need those investments for boss. You don't want to risk losing right before boss. You don't want to risk losing your anything, honestly. Like, you need everything for that. So Super Mario Party Jamboree. I'm not sure I get this reference. Like, I obviously know the game, but hi, Iron King. I hope you're doing well. You love bad game design. Okay. Medical Respawn untouched. I mean, we don't know that for sure, but it could very well be untouched. I think Medical Respawn is a stain. I don't like it. Sparkly Stardust was useful and skill damage 2 was good. I think Sparkly Stardust is cool, but I think that they want games not to... They might want games to last longer, is what maybe they're trying to go for. And I think Sparkly Stardust kind of goes against that, maybe, where it's like you're able to just kill towers a lot quicker.
On top of that, if we're talking about usefulness, the what is it called? The cooldown reduction is probably the most useful one, but that's still ass.
I mean, the cooldown reduction is just like stupid, isn't it? It's like useful, obviously, but it's like dumb. It's like I mean, again, it incentivizes you not even getting into team fights, because what's the point of getting into team fights here? There's no point. You generally believe skill damage up draws do not have a place in the game, and you're pensive about the new Cloud Divine draw. Additionally, they should have gotten rid of the medical station. That one's super boring to play around. The rest seem tolerable. So you don't like skill damage up draws. I think that they should have them in the game. I think it just pushes you to pick different characters depending on which one you would have. Like if you had skill damage 1 up and skill damage 2, depending on the game, I would actually end up picking this character over this character. Like, with skill damage 1, maybe you're more incentivized to play a character like Super Saiyan 3 Goku over, another damage character, like even Broly, You're curious on how Vanishing Step draw works with the cards that already support Vanish Step. Yeah, again, this is something we really need to see once we're in game. Golden Cell Jr. is unironically better.
I'm not gonna lie. If I had to choose either Unlimited Vanishes or Golden Cell Juniors, I'm really sorry, Minato. I think I'd rather have Gold Cell Juniors. I'm just gonna be completely honest,
Yeah, I
dude.
mean,
I'm gonna be
unlimited
completely honest.
vanish. Yeah,
Unlim-
maybe
Would you rather
you're
have unlimited
right.
games and unlimited vanish, or no games and unlimited vanish?
We're gonna have a lot of really annoying divine draws. Rigged matches gonna be hell. Actually, garbage. Some divine draws make the game a bit more fun, like Superstart, Team Rush Go, Medical Respawn. I'm not sure about Medical Respawn. But then just some make the game so tedious unless you pick a world that get a benefit from it. Particularly Cloud. Like, I don't get why people are saying Cloud Cover is a hit buff. Like, he's already invisible throughout the match. Like, what is, like, I'm not sure what this provides them necessarily. Maybe I'm missing something. You know, maybe like some mega hit main could like just comment and be like, yeah, actually you're as stupid as fuck. This is busted as fuck for hit especially. But I don't like you just use skill 3 over this. Like,
Yeah, hey, fan42, if you could enlighten us in the comments, please.
that'd be awesome.
We need your help.
Let's read a couple more of these and then we'll kind of end. They look bad. All of them look like they were made to prolong the time you play in a match. Yeah, that's exactly what I said as well, actually. They might want matches to last longer. That could be what they're going for with this. Especially by removing Stardust and skill damage 2 boost, but I don't know. You really wish they didn't rotate out Spirited Away. It was fun hiding in the bushes waiting for someone to attack our tower. Yeah, I think that's
that
really
was
cool.
a really nice one, yeah.
But at the same time, it's like if you're getting backdoored, you can't see that, right? Because of the Spirited Away. They should have taken out Clouds, as the new Divine Jar also have a lot of clouds around. Yeah, I think between
I agree
those two, I guess they could have taken out Clouds though, for sure. Losing super skills to sucks and infinite advantage is going to be unbearable. Stardust and skill 2 boost going away for these don't look fun at all. I mean, I think that we need to see it in game, but me personally, I think these two look like interesting. This looks really like stupid again. So I'm just kind of ending off as my same thoughts. Divine Draw as a system just doesn't seem like it's necessarily working though. Like, I think it's fine, but I don't think it's making the difference in the games that they want. And then they add shit like this. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's also just really sad because like we obviously know Twitter is always going to be a place that has a lot of hatred spewing around because that's what's going to just get the most likes and all that. But we genuinely have not seen a single person who has gone, I'm really excited for the new change, or I'm really excited for the new divine draws. It has actually been 100% of people saying this looks really, really bad. And I think that's not a good thing at all.
Yeah, I mean, if no one's like, people were looking forward to skill damage 2 boost or medical like respawn looked interesting. But no one's excited for any of these in comparison.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Again, maybe in game it looks completely different. I think especially for these two, I think it'll be more easy to work around the people are giving it credit for. Oh God, why would they do this, bro? The amount that it's reduced is insane. Like, why is it that much of a reduction? They need to like you need to stealth nerf this. Like look how quick you get it. Look,
honestly, if I was the Gekishin
that should be
team,
like, it should be like a quarter. Like,
if I was the Gekishin Squadra team, I would just be like, after careful consideration, we have decided not to do super vanishing step, and skill 2 boost will stay.
I mean, that's what they probably should do, but
yeah, like
this is just dumb. I'm sorry. Lie. This is arguably just bad game design. Like, the amount that you get back, it's insane.
I love defense step. I love infinite defense step. Yeah, I love defense step, dude. I love defense step.
Yeah, I mean, defense step will definitely be a priority when you have this, right? You definitely run defense step over double vanish.
Limit breaking jump wouldn't be a bad one.
I mean, you can still have limit breaking jump, but like by the amount of time that how quick you get your vanishing step back, man, you probably don't even need it. I don't know, but let us know what you guys are thinking. We have Mike's channel is gonna have part 2, and catch you guys next time. Peace out.
Bye.